Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the When in Doubt podcast. We have a very, very special guest today. The first returning guest, I think, on our show. I think this is the first time we've had the same guest on twice. But he deserves to be on twice because he's an absolute fan favorite. The gel guy, the Italian stallion, Nick Gross himself. Let's give a quick round of applause to Nick Gross. What a legend. What an absolute legend. Welcome back to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Hayden. I'm super excited to be back.
Anytime.
Your guys' comments are crazy. I mean, you got some funny fans, man.
I'm out here laughing already, like spitting out my drink because just thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm totally excited to be back. I've been looking forward to it for a while.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the first things I want to talk about on air while we're here. Our fans, they're interesting people. We got plenty of haters, but at the same time, we got plenty of people who genuinely care, which is what makes doing the podcast so fun. I mean, we opened up a Cameo recently, which has been doing really cool, really good things.
Can I say, you guys have been doing phenomenal things. I mean, I'm looking at, your gaming stuff, and the editing's crazy. My brother, Anthony Gross, who does influencing now, he sent me a text message, right? I sent that to you, and he said, I don't know who Hayden is. I graduated I was a senior when he was a freshman, but I want to know what his editing thing is. Yeah. He's skilled. He's good. I mean, it's testament to how good you're doing.
It sucks because one of the things I will mention is obviously we had created this channel around the podcast that we've been doing, and we decided to throw in a gaming episode, which we started this podcast because it's something we just wanted to enjoy doing. It's a bunch of friends. It was 6 of us, and we were like sitting down one night. We're like, let's just start a podcast. We got nothing better to do. Yeah. It'll give us an excuse to hang out every week. We'll just talk about something. Like it's fun, right? Yeah. And then as we've grown and kind of actually gained like a small audience, it's cool because then
small 5,000 Jack Harlow. Come on, small.
I mean, relatively small audience. It gives us the opportunity to kind of open up and show the fans the other things that we like doing as well. Whether that is gaming, whether that is other stuff that you might get to see future down the road, because we have some other stuff planned for the summer that you guys should definitely be excited for. Yeah. But there's just a lot of stuff like that. And it was really cool to be able to do something like that because I love video games. I love editing. And that was kind of like taking those two things and really being able to kind of show it off. Yeah. And so if you guys haven't already, go check out the gaming episode because that episode
check it out.
It took so much work. And the last thing I want to say before we kind of get into our initial conversation is about the comments and about everything. This man has his own podcast. It's an absolutely legendary podcast, The Nick Gross Show. Go follow it on Spotify. All your links will be in the description like they were before. How's that been going for you? I want to ask.
It's been going good. The thing is, and we'll talk about this, I've been extremely busy working as a camp counselor this summer. I got to yell a lot. Yeah. So I don't want to make excuses for why I haven't been getting content out there. But in my defense, I haven't really had time nor been able to because my voice is a wreck every night I come home.
Yeah.
So I've been working on things. I filmed one Wisconsin versus Texas with my friend who came up from. That was kind of like this, right? Yeah. We just came up with this. Yeah. I just kind of was one night. My friend was in from Texas, and I was like, let's make a podcast. Yeah. You're like, okay. So it's fun, but it's been going all right. I'm trying to figure out how to do the editing better. Yeah. And I wanted to talk to you about that. Obviously, we'll do that after the podcast. Yeah. But I need help with the editing stuff, how to get it on Instagram, socials, all that stuff. Yeah. But I've been wanting to expand to that.
Yeah, it is. It's something that it's the little things you don't think about until you start doing it. I mean, it's things like you see these content creators, these podcasts, filming podcasts, and there's clips on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever that is. And it's like, oh, that's cool. And like, you don't even, as someone just scrolling through the feed, you don't even think about the work that went into that.
Oh, yeah.
And even people in the comments, it's funny because I'll post Instagram reel talking about, how much work the podcast is. And then the comments are like, dude uses AI to edit his shorts. Dude uses AI to edit the podcast. It doesn't even take work. And I'm like,
no.
Even if you do use some, it's still a crap ton of work. Like the amount of hours that you have to put in, even if you are using AI, just to get it all the way you want it. And I'm super like nitpicky, especially because I've been doing editing for so long. Even off of YouTube content side of things, I just do editing, and I've done that before. So it's like, for me, being so nitpicky, even if I do use AI, I get it back, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't good. I need to change it. And then I go through and change the whole thing to how I want it to be or how, I think it fits best for the podcast. So,
well, and one more thing I guess I'll say is with some of those comments, the hate It's kind of mind blowing. I never thought there'd be I didn't even know you had the Instagram for a while.
Yeah.
Until one of my family members showed me. They're like, "Wow, you're kind of blowing up in the comments right now." Okay. So I started to read some of them, and some of these people, some people, I think, are so nasty. And there's a small minority of them, right? Yeah. But a lot of the comments, the hate ones, I have to think to myself, well, these people are probably sitting on the couch, eating a pack of Doritos, watching, all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And
true.
So how can you let their comments, their negative comments, bring you down when you're editing, you're doing all these things? You can't, because you're doing a tremendous job. And I think a lot of people are just jealous. A lot of people love it. I mean, we got a lot of great people.
Yeah.
But I just think those small haters.
Yeah.
You got to let them fuel you, man.
Yeah. I 100% agree, and I think it's also funny because then you start to realize things. It's like, okay, for example, this is just an example story, but like there was this one guy who would not stop commenting like kind of just rude things, mean things. I mean, it's not even that they were super like explicit or anything, but they're just like not necessary. They're just not necessary to be in a comment section, like to build up, like if we're trying to grow a community, we're trying to grow the podcast, we're trying to grow the content. Yeah. It's like, this isn't necessary. So I literally personally DM'd him on our When in Doubt account, and I said, yo, dude, I've been seeing all your comments. I've been deleting them, but you need to stop or you're going to get blocked. Yeah. And the exact next Instagram reel I posted the next day, he left like 10 hate comments that were just super mean. Yeah. And so I blocked him. I blocked him from the account. And then I got a DM the next day on my personal Instagram account. Not the When in Doubt account, but the personal account that was like, bro, please unban me from the When in Doubt account. I was joking. I was kidding. Like, I'm a huge fan. Like, stop. You can't. It's not that serious, bro. And I'm like, it's really funny how quickly these people change around, because they'll be sitting on their couch. They'll be calling us losers when we're the ones putting in the work, and they're the ones sitting their butts on the couch just typing their fingers, commenting some crap. It's true. And we're the one doing the work. It's
true.
And then they turn around and they're leaving these comments, and then we go to block them, and they're like, no, let us back in. We want to watch the content. So it's they leave the comments when they're sitting there, when they're bored, but then when it actually comes down to it, they want to watch it. Yeah. So like,
agree.
I think it's silly, especially. It does. I mean, obviously, I do agree. It completely fuels the fire, and like I've gotten over it 100% by this point. But I will admit, sometimes it does get under my skin sometimes, because it's just like, man, we put anybody who does content knows you put so much work into it. No matter how much you do, how little you do, you're putting work into it. You're putting content out there, which means no matter how little you're doing, you're still doing enough work to put it out there in the first place. So I don't. When people are just hating on it constantly. I mean, you have those lovers, but you also have those haters, and every once in a while, it's like, dude, why? It's just not necessary.
Yeah. The haters are just people that are behind their phone through the comfort of their phone, right? And you gotta just, I think in your mind, if you were to actually have this person, like in person, be super nice, completely different person. They're just hiding behind the screen.
Yeah,
but
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
All right, well, moving on with the conversation. Nick, what have you been up to this summer? Now it's it's around 4th of July. Happy early 4th
of July. Happy early 4th, everybody. God bless America.
For them, it's after 4th of July, because this goes up on Saturday, which is in... Oh. So happy late 4th of July.
Happy late 4th of July.
But what are you doing with 4th? What have you been doing this summer?
Well, I'll start with what I've been doing this summer. We graduated, right? May 24th. What a tremendous day. Next day, I had orientation for my job. Yeah, and then my job has been taking up a lot of the summer. I'm a camp counselor. At this tremendous place.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. I feel like I've been gaining a lot of skills, like accountability, responsibility, patience, all these other things, right? Because you have to, as a counselor, which I've always wanted to be a counselor ever since I watched Bunked with Xander. I wanted to be like Xander. I was like, I really want to be like Xander. So I finally got the opportunity to. Praise be to God. I always asked him for it. Yep. Gave me an opportunity. And it's very unexpected, right? You don't know what's going to happen. There's so many kids. We get our schedules. There's so many kids. You're constantly on your feet. You got to be so creative in your mind of all these different games to play, like little games you did when you were younger that you got to jog your memory about, right? Like Duck Duck Goose. What are some other ones? Like
Sharks and Minnows.
Sharks and Minnows. Like Heads Up 7-Up. Yeah. All these different kind of things. And it's just really fun. It brings me back to my childhood a lot. I really love the kids. I've been having a blast. I work Monday through Friday, so I've been pretty booked with that.
A lot of work.
But other with that, meeting a lot of great people. We have a volleyball league on Tuesdays at Center Court, which is fun. I've been announcing I announced the girls' games, soccer.
Soccer.
great privilege to announce that team. Our girls soccer team went to state.
Yep.
Sadly, they lost.
It was a huge season for that.
But,
huge upset.
Tremendous season.
States. Yeah, that was awesome.
So did a little bit of that. Been doing a lot of grad parties. You got yours this weekend.
I do
on the Saturday, this will come out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of graduation parties. So I've just been living a normal teenage life. I think been doing a lot of praying, contemplating. I discern the priesthood. So we'll have to see. Yeah.
That sounds.
Been doing a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's really cool. I mean, first off, just to kind of see what you've been able to do through the counseling stuff, and like kind of feel like you've been growing as a person throughout your job. It's like something I always look for too, because through this summer I work at a camp as well. Mine is a tennis camp because I play a lot of tennis, and I'm going to college to play tennis. That works good for me. It's something I'm pretty skilled in normally, so it helps that I already have that asset. But I agree with you completely. It's the things you don't realize. Besides the fact that I'm coaching tennis and I'm like coaching these kids, I'm also trying to show them life lessons in a way, and I'm not just out there just feed the tennis ball. Here's how you hit a tennis ball. End of story. That's not how it is. That's not how it really is at any camp. No matter what you're doing, it's not just about that. It's about the life lessons that you make out there.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how it was with our coach at CMH for tennis. I think that's one of the reasons why I liked him so much, and he was such a good coach, is because beyond the tennis court, beyond just the actual principles of the game, he was teaching us principles of life.
Yeah.
And it's kind of teaching us how to grow from these boys into men, and like really teaching us these things that are important to learn as you grow older in life. Because as much as sports are amazing, and I love sports, and I know so many people love sports, these things can let you down. There's injuries. They're not going to be there forever. And, and these principles of life that you can learn along the way through these sports, you can keep with you.
Yeah.
So that's
100%. No, that's one of the things I love about my job. I get to teach these kids there's little teaching moments every day, right? If somebody whacks somebody in the face with a pool noodle, we could give a little thing like, hey, don't do that, right?
Yeah.
But then you could actually give like a deeper lesson.
Yeah.
And these are the things I love reiterating to the kids and doing that. I just think it's really cool, you know. So what about you? What else have you been up to?
Well, a lot of tennis, like I've been saying, in the mornings. Besides that, I agree with you. A lot of the normal teenage stuff. A lot of grad parties with our graduating class.
You gain a lot of weight at these grad parties and meet a lot of people.
100%. I've ate so much Qdoba and so many pork and like ribs. Dude, it is unreal. But it's good. I mean, it's incredible. It's really cool to see all these people that we grew up with for 4 years, really, and like kind of see them like, wow, you're moving on in life. You're on to your next thing. You're gonna be successful. You're gonna be able to go do this. And it's like it's really cool to go to all these different people's parties that you see, and you're like, man, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. You did this. Like that's really cool just to go around and see. And that's one of the reasons I like grad parties so much. Not only is it a time to associate and like kind of become friends and make sure you're like, oh, let's stay connected throughout college, that sort of stuff. It's not only a time for that. It's also a time to be like, man, you did it. Like, let's take a second and realize you just did 4 years of high school. It's not an easy thing. Not everyone does it, and you're going to college or whatever you're moving on next to in life. Like, congrats. I mean, you're moving on. You're moving on, which has been super cool, and it's been good to see all my high school friends through that. Besides that, we have a few trips planned. None of them have actually happened quite yet in the summer, but later this summer, which is kind of a part of the thing I was hinting to earlier in the episode. Me and all the boys from the podcast, we go on a trip every summer. Well, not every summer.
Oh,
it's going to be an annual summer. Yes.
Okay.
It's going to be, we're making an annual trip because this will be our second year going. But last year we went, we rented an Airbnb way up northern Wisconsin, and we just stay there for a week. It's on a lake. It's gorgeous. It's super fun. It's just the boys. We just have a good time. Do things high schoolers would do. We have a really, really fun time. So I got that planned, and then actually,
that's awesome.
Only a few weeks after that, I come home and me and my family are leaving to Cincinnati to go watch the Cincinnati Open, which is a tennis tournament.
Okay.
My family's big into that. So yeah, a lot of family plans. Like I've been saying, I feel like a lot of my early summer was consumed by the fact that getting ready for my grad party and all that stuff. But to be fair, so has everybody else. So has everybody in our class. It's not just me. It's everybody in this
Everybody's
class
out there doing yard work.
Yeah.
And the weather's been crazy. I feel so bad for some of these people that have had their grad parties on like a Saturday or a Sunday, and then it just rains.
Yes.
Every grad party has been raining. It's crazy.
Hilarious. Throughout the week, it's like beautiful. It's like 75, between 75 and 80 degrees, sunny. And Monday through Friday, it's just gorgeous. And then Saturday and Sunday hit, and it's like stormy, and it's like 60 degrees and pouring rain for 2 days straight. So it's been pretty unfortunate. I'm crossing my fingers pretty hard to get some good weather.
The Wisconsinites, they can vouch for us on that.
That's actually one thing I wanted to mention. So we kind of talked about this before the podcast started, but I have some family from Mississippi, and we were talking accents. We were talking, just like you did there, we were talking accents. They think we got the accents.
No.
But what's your take on that?
No, there's no way we have the accents. This sounds perfectly normal. This is proper English. This doesn't sound perfectly normal. That's Southern accent. It's weird. It's
weird. Wow.
It just doesn't sound normal.
Shots are being fired.
It's messed up.
Shots are being fired. Well,
and I have friends. I have family that lives in the South. Yeah. I'll make jokes at them for that.
Yeah.
They think we sound weird. Personally, I'm a Northern type of guy. I think they sound weird, and I know you agree with me too.
But let me tell you, Southern hospitality is a real thing.
Southern hospitality is great.
They let me tell you, those Southern people. I was telling some of my friends that I was like, dude, I don't know if I'm more excited for you to be at my grad party or for you to meet my family from Mississippi, because they are so nice, they're so funny, they're so cool to be around. Like, it is a blast to have that crowd around. It's a really fun time.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move it on. Do we got anything else in that topic to cover? Let's see. Anything else exciting?
I'm sure there's other things I have in the summer. I just probably can't think of right now.
It's all right.
But all those great things, they'll come the moment after we end the podcast. We'll be like, oh, man, I'm doing this and that. I'm getting surgery, too. That's coming up. I have a nose surgery. I can't breathe right. Over the past...
what's that called?
Where they put the balloon in, they pop the balloon. Yeah. I'm getting that July 24th or something like that. So... we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it goes well.
Pray for Gel Guy.
Gel Guy needs your help.
Yeah, apparently. All right, well, moving it on. It is the 4th of July season. This episode is coming out exactly 2 days, I think, after, because it'll be Saturday. So this will be coming 2 days after.
America!
Go America.
Yeah.
But talking about America, talking about holidays, I thought to kind of, the main part of this episode, what we do is we kind of go through some of these main holidays, and we'd put them on a tier list. We're not doing this as a formal tier list episode like we've done before, where we have it up here. We don't need any of that fancy stuff today. It's just me and Nick here. We're just gonna go through some holidays. We'll kind of bounce back and forth, talk about holidays, and then put it on a tier list. We'll go just S is the best, like S supreme top quality. Okay. Then A, then B, then C, and then F is like, this holiday shouldn't exist.
Okay, all
right. So let's start off with the 4th of July. Nick, I could take a wild guess what you're going to say, but do you want to?
You said S was the best one?
S is the best.
So I'm a proud American. Yes. It's a very sad statistic, and I won't get political here, but only 17% of our generation, Gen Z, is proud to be an American. I find that disgusting, repulsive, and quite frankly, very scary. Yeah. I don't know how you could live in this tremendous country and be ashamed of it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of indoctrination going on, which is to blame for that. But America's an amazing country. Yeah. Our story of how we fought back, and there was a band of young men, right, that wrote the Constitution. They did all these things. We fought back. We fought for our country, and a lot of them were our age, too. Yeah. There's one that was 18, one founding father.
Yeah.
I find it absolutely amazing. I find it absolutely heroic, what they did, and the millions of men and women who make sacrifices every single year to protect our freedoms. I think America is the greatest country on God's green earth. It's done amazing things for the world.
Yep.
It's the greatest country to grow up in, and therefore, I have to put the 4th of July at S. 100% yes, the 100%. Best. I love America. It's such a great holiday to celebrate.
I'm going to have to 100% agree with you on literally everything Nick just said. And also just, besides all that fact too, it's the 4th of July. Everybody's got that American spirit, especially when you're living in America. Everybody's got that spirit. Everybody, they want to get together. You get to see your friends. You get to shoot off some fireworks. You get to, do all these fun things that you kind of been doing at the grad parties all year, for us at least. Right. And now it's like everybody's together. You get to celebrate with your family, everybody. It's just, it's a great time of the year. It's really fun. And also, it's a great time to have a holiday. It's in the summer. It's going to be warm, hopefully. No rain, hopefully. It's going to be beautiful. Literally, it's going to be beautiful. And that's the hope with that type of holiday.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's going to be great. We also have all the festivals, right?
Yeah.
You got I know Malone Park right now has their big festival with the tents. I love seeing the tents. And at night, they set off the fireworks, which is just like, awesome. Yes. I love fireworks.
And Summerfest.
Summerfest is going on.
Largest music festival in the world.
That's right.
Well, actually, I don't know. Technically, I think the stat is it's technically not the largest, but they call it the largest because it's technically the longest. Because they spread it out throughout 3 weekends. Okay. It's strategic. But we can call it the largest music festival in the world because that's what they call it. Yeah. That's what they call it. They can't complain at us if that's what it says on the website,
But 4th of July,
Yes.
At the top.
S tier. I 100% agree. Let's move on down. Let's see. What are some other good holidays? I mean, there's obvious ones, but do you got a kind of under the cover holiday? What's a holiday that's a little more low key?
A little more low key.
Or we can just go for bangers.
I love St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, what about St. Patrick's Day?
I think St. Patrick's Day is great. My brother was in Ireland actually over St. Patrick's Day.
I bet you that is wild.
The bars were wild. Everybody was crazy. It was just like, I was going to
say, I bet you for some of these holidays, it's completely different based off of where you are in the world.
Because
if you're in Ireland, like that's going to be ridiculous.
But Ireland sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Love St. Patrick. Great man. It's a great holiday. I've just always really liked it, especially because I love McDonald's. And every time I go to McDonald's on not the 4th of July. Every time I go to McDonald's on St. Patty's Day, they got the Shamrock Shake.
The Shamrock
just
Shake.
Like, man, yeah. Got that St. Patty's spirit in me.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Okay.
It's great. I also love Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Valentine's Day is awesome. It's another Catholic holiday, actually.
The more you know.
It's so great. Everybody, there's so much love in the air. Cupid shot that arrow. Everybody's happy. The lovers are together, although I've never had a girlfriend, but that's, we can talk about that.
That's a different
time.
story. That's a different story.
It's just so great. Pink, it's awesome. Men aren't supposed to like pink as a color. I think pink's a cool color.
Okay. Yeah,
we're repping it on
is a good color.
We're repping it on our lips every single day.
Yeah,
so it's cool. I love St. Patty's Day.
So let's take a look. Here's the Nick Gross tier list invisibly in the air. You got S tier at 4th of July. Where are you putting St. Patty's Day and where are you putting Valentine's Day on the tier list?
Valentine's Day is going to be an A.
Okay.
St. Patty's Day I'd probably put in B.
Okay. So the Nick Gross tier list so far, that's what we got.
They're great.
Yeah, I get. There's a lot of good holidays out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good holidays. And talking about a holiday that I would be very surprised if you put it anywhere where else I'm thinking, Christmas. What are your opinions on Christmas?
Christmas. Hey, now I want you to picture this for a second.
Okay, I'm closing my eyes.
White snow.
Yeah.
Falling from the treetops in the sky. Mm-hmm. You got the snowmen being built in everybody's front yard.
It's a good time.
You have hot cocoa and marshmallows and sleds down the hills.
Yeah.
And rocking around the Christmas tree. Santa's coming down your chimney. Come on. Christmas is A. Or no, not A. Christmas is S. Christmas is S.
Great. I 100% agree.
I think Christmas is the best holiday ever.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Top of S tier. Top S.
Also, you can't forget the reason for the season.
Yes.
Jesus Christ was born. And that is, it's exceptionally here.
Yeah.
Born in the manger. So I love that and everything, and especially going to church over that one. Because that's the biggest mass of the year when you've got everybody there. Because all the lukewarms that never show up always come on Christmas. So everybody's there. Yeah. But Christmas is amazing. I absolutely love it. A tradition we always do in my family for Christmas, we always make snowmen right in the front of our thing, and we go snowshoeing. Do you know what snowshoeing is?
Yeah, isn't that when you get like the really big snow feet and you can like walk on the top of the snow?
Because I love waking up and seeing how many inches are. Sometimes it's crazy.
Yeah, it's in Wisconsin especially. You get crazy snowfalls here.
So we got that. You'll put them on. We go walking around the neighborhood, just like you're taking a normal walk.
Yeah,
but
except you're walking on 12 inches of snow.
You're walking on 12 inches of snow. I love everything about Christmas.
Yeah, I am saying agree. I'd say the only thing for me is that, man, when you're living in Wisconsin, as much as I love Wisconsin, man, I wish there were some mountains here because I'm a big skier.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you, if there were some good mountains with how much good snow we get here, that'd be so good. Like a little Christmas ski. And I'm not saying we have fine hills, but they're just hills. Like, they're not mountains. We're not in Colorado, sadly.
Right.
So, that's a little bit unfortunate, but that's not even to do with the holiday. That's just with Wisconsin in general. I do wish, it's like a lot of people complain about the cold in Wisconsin, which I don't completely understand. But at the same time, I will admit, once it gets to like March, I'm like, all right, can we let's get spring moving on.
Right,
let's wrap it up here.
But we can handle it.
Yeah,
I mean, half of my wardrobe is just coats and sweatshirts and snow pants.
That's how it is in Wisconsin.
Right? Because that's what you got to do. If you're a Wisconsinite, obviously you know that if you're listening from Arkansas or Texas, you're probably like, what the heck are you guys talking about?
You're probably like, what's a coat?
Yeah, what's a coat?
So, I 100% agree. I just wish we had some mountains here. But so we got the Nick Gross tier. We got Christmas S tier, 100%.
S.
Then let's throw in its partner in crime for that reason. Let's call it an Easter.
Easter.
Where are you putting Easter on that tier?
Easter. S.
S tier, okay. S tier as well.
Once again,
Yep.
resurrection of Jesus. S.
Yep.
You got the Easter bunny.
Yep.
You got the Easter egg hunts. One thing we always did in our family, we would have like a little Easter egg hunt with my brother and and myself and mom and dad and Nana and Papa and everybody.
That's
so we would go in and Nana would have all the eggs hidden everywhere, right? Like I'm sure it would probably be a good spot to put one over the tree and everywhere. And I never know where it is. And, so we'd always have to find it. And then when you find it, you'd open up and there'd be like a $20 bill.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good egg. That's a good egg.
So that's a good egg. Love that about Easter. Easter, that's when it starts to get warm usually too.
Yeah.
And everybody's on spring break, right? So it's always great. I absolutely love Easter. I'd have to say Easter is at, I don't want to clog my S's, but Easter's an S.
Yeah, okay. It's okay. It's your tier list. You're the one making the decision.
Easter's an S.
Easter's an S tier. All right. I'm trying to think. What are other? I mean, I'm sure I'm missing 1,000 holidays. What are other good holidays you can think of off the top of your head? As I was saying, we're a little unprepared on this holiday too.
We're totally unprepared about this.
But it's we're just having a good conversation about holidays. I mean, if more come to our mind, we can talk.
Oh, you know what that reminds me about with Christmas? Another thing we always did. I don't know if you did this. We hide a pickle on the tree.
We do that too. We do that exact same thing.
Do you and your brother try and find it?
We race to see who can find it first. Yeah. The person who gets to find it first.
Who usually wins? You or Brady?
I'm gonna be honest. As much as I would love to say it's me, it's normally Brady. I don't know what's going on. It must be the height at which he stands. Okay. But I swear, every year I'm searching all over for that thing. And it's like, bing! He's like, got it. I'm like, what's how?
No, see, that's the complete opposite at our house. I'm the short one, and my brother's the big one. I can never find it. He has found it for the last 17 years. Oh, I was destined to find it this year and couldn't find it.
Yikes.
But the first one is it the same with you? First one who finds it gets to open the first present?
Yep, that's exactly how we do it.
It's the same way we do it, too.
Is it? That's hilarious. I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought my mom made that up. I literally had no clue. I wonder more, is that a common thing?
I don't know. Maybe they could tell us.
Where does that come from? I have no clue where
the North Pole.
The North Pole. From up in Santa Town.
It comes from Santa's workshop.
Santa's workshop. How are we talking about Christmas in the 4th of July? What's going on here?
I don't know.
Christmas, it's just that type of year. It's once you start talking about Christmas, it's hard to stop. It's a great time of the year. Yeah. It is a really good time of the year.
It's a tremendous time of the year.
All right, let's see. Do we got any more major holidays? Anything exciting in the holiday department to talk about? I'm trying to think of other traditions we got too, just with holidays in general. I do have one good one I can actually mention. This relates to 4th of July.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned this in the podcast or if I was just talking about this before. I think I did. But, we were talking about the accents. I got some family down in Mississippi,
right.
The Tennessee area, because, that sort of thing.
Are you from Tennessee? No. You're the only 10 I see.
They got that Riz. No, but, when we go down there, so here's how it works. Basically, we do this thing called Luna Fest.
Okay. Tell me more.
It's my mom's, maiden name, something like that. I don't totally know the details, but it's a last name of my family down in Mississippi. And we call it Luna Fest because literally what we do is once every summer, which we don't actually go every summer, but once every summer, my family, all the family down in Mississippi and Tennessee, hosts a massive party, a massive, massive party with it's basically like a massive family reunion, except we all just stay at one big house for
sick.
A week.
That's awesome.
And it's got a pool and it's a huge house and we have a really good time and hanging out with all the family that we don't get to see that often. Mm-hmm. It's kind of obviously what's also kind of makes it cool and kind of makes it feel fun, at least for me, is actually we only go every other year, which you might think, oh, that kind of stinks. But at the same time, it almost makes it more special the years you go. It's when you don't do things quite as much, it makes it more special when you do it. You know what I mean? If you don't have a pool in your backyard and you don't get to swim a lot, but then you get to go to the water park, you're like, oh, that's sick.
Right.
But if you have a pool in your backyard
and if you do it every day, then it doesn't have the same effect.
Doesn't have the same effect. Yeah. And that's kind of how I feel like that is for me. It's if I went down to Mississippi and Tennessee every year, it'd kind of just become all right, we're going to Mississippi and Tennessee again. Yeah. Okay, great. I see these people every year. But since it is every other year, it almost feels like, oh, dude, I forgot we do that. Now we get to go do it again.
Right.
And that we did that last summer. We're not doing it this summer, but we did it last summer. But what's actually awesome and kind of the reason I brought this up is because of the fact that my graduation party's coming up and stuff. A lot of the family that would have gone to Luna Fest actually came here this year, and we've never done that before. So they're all here for my graduation party, 4th of July year. So that's kind of what I was talking to you about before. We got a lot of plans around 4th of July.
They're all in town right now?
Yeah, they're all in town right now, a lot of them. So that's super fun, and it's something we do every year. And let me tell you.
Luna Fest.
Let me tell you, the Southerners put on a very good 4th of July. They like America down there, if you know what I mean. I mean, they have a really good time. We shoot off some good fireworks. We have a good party. It's really fun. So that's definitely one of the highlights. Thinking of holidays, I mean that's this time of year, and that's why one of the reasons I love it so much. Yeah. Plus, you get to reconnect with a lot of those cousins and family members where you show up and you're like, don't even know your name, and by the end of the week,
that's the most awkward thing, especially when it's and not even when it's just somebody that's like if it's just somebody that comes up to you that you know or that knows you and you don't know.
And you don't know them.
Yeah, that's happened so many times at these graduation parties. I'll have somebody come up to me, "Hey, Nick, how you doing?" I'm like,
You're like, hey.
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you, bro.
But especially when it's family.
Yes.
Like with those second cousins that you never see.
Second, third.
Oh, Hayden, it's so... I remember when you were in Pampers when you were younger.
Yep.
Oh, I remember you too.
Yeah, and then it's always... Your mom will bring you up. You're like, oh, don't you remember him and him? And
I'm
that's
like, the worst.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like... Yeah.
Like, Mom, no.
Literally, I've never seen these people in my life, Mom. I have no clue who these people are.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Totally.
That definitely happens, but in general, it's like... what's funny is the truth is that'll happen, but then by the end of the week, you guys feel like you've been family. Like, you've known each other since birth. It's like, by the end of the week, it's like, man, that's my bro. Like, you're like totally family again.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. So that's definitely a highlight of that town, or that area of, life for me. So.
Yeah. It's great.
All right. Anything else? Let's see. Holiday. I'm trying to think of any other major holidays that we're missing. I mean,
I know. We're definitely missing a ton of holidays. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but the funny thing is also, I feel like, as far as holidays go, I feel like you got your top quality holiday. You got your... Oh my gosh, we're forgetting a major one. Thanksgiving.
Oh, Thanksgiving, of course.
Put it on the Nick Rose tier list. Where's Thanksgiving? Tell me about it. What do you do?
Thanksgiving to me is a time where you are thankful, obviously.
Wow, really?
Right? And, but not... I think it's a time to reflect, right? Thankful for God's grace that it gives you every day. Thank you for your family that you have. Thank you for just the little things, right? Like... that we take for granted, like water, food, shelter, clothing, all those little things. I think it's a time to reflect on and be thankful for. And I love it especially because my family from Arizona comes up, and we all get together, and we have we get a big turkey, we get the stuffing, you got the mashed potatoes, you get everything, right? You got the cranberries, everything, right? And it's tremendous. It tastes so delicious. Yeah. I gained so much weight at that dinner. As Carrie Underwood would say in that song, I got my stretchy pants on. It's tremendous. Best food ever. Oh, yeah. Brings everybody together. And also just like sitting watching like an NFL, the football game, the Lions football game. Always. It's just such an American thing to do. I love it. Reflect on the Pilgrims and everything. It's just great. I absolutely love it.
All right, on the Nick Gross tier list, is it S? Is it A?
Thanksgiving's an A.
Thanksgiving's
an A.
Okay.
High A.
I agree.
Yeah, on the brink of S.
On the brink of S. I understand. You don't want to overcrowd the S tier. You don't want to dilute it, but it's right. Thanksgiving's pretty high up there.
What about for you? Where would you put Thanksgiving?
For me, man, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I mean, I agree with everything you were saying. When I think Thanksgiving, I think all those same things as well. And then just as far as traditions go for me, that's actually one of the holidays we go visit some family, and we have been visiting family for a while now on Thanksgiving. It's just, once again, like you're saying, it's so much fun just to, first off, the food's incredible.
Right.
I mean, the food's incredible. Second off, it's just, once again, it's one of those times of year, kind of like, not the Christmas spirit, it's not quite that, but it's just that spirit of like, man, things are good right now. Like, you're thankful for all the things you have in your life, but also it's just like, man, you're sitting here, you're eating some really good food, you're watching some football, you're with your family, can life get better? Like that, you're just sitting there, I feel like that's kind of what you think, especially if that's how your life is, and if you're blessed, if you're blessed by that. But that's for me how Thanksgiving is for sure. And me and my family always throw on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Oh yeah, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Watch the big floats come by. Always amazed. Like I'll be like looking up like how big is the float this year? And then it's like it's like hundreds and hundreds of feet in the air. I'm like, dude, that thing could eat a skyscraper. Yeah. It's like those balloons are huge. So it's always fun.
Well, and not even to mention Thanksgiving's during my favorite season. I don't know about you, but fall.
You a big fall
guy,
right?
I love fall. The trees the tree colors are changing, right? Mm-hmm. The leaves are changing colors. They're falling. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's getting a little chilly. It's like sweater weather.
That's
right.
Hey, it's almost like that's your favorite.
Yeah. Well, it is 85 degrees outside, but we gotta look good tonight. But you got everybody going to Starbucks, getting whatever their fall drink is. It's tremendous. I love it so much.
You a big coffee guy or no?
No, when I go to Starbucks, though, I'll tell you, I get a bacon Gouda. They used to call it the bacon artisan. Now they call it the bacon Gouda. The bacon Gouda, a tall hot chocolate, and 2 pink cake pops. You got to get it. It's tremendous.
Wow.
It is
all right.
The best.
That is the official Gel Guy order at Starbucks. Go get that.
You got to go get it. It's absolutely tremendous. What's your order? Do you get that too?
I can't say I get that.
Okay. All right.
But I change my order around a decent amount. I am a coffee drinker. I think I've actually slowly this is common. Once you start to drink like good coffee, I will admit Starbucks kind of, it doesn't fade away. I mean, it's still good. It's a good, it's coffee. You can't complain. If you like coffee, you're gonna like any sort of coffee. Yeah. But I will admit, we have a espresso machine upstairs, and the coffee we make there is really stinking good. Yeah. And I'm not saying the Starbucks coffee isn't good, but
no, we're dissing Starbucks. Starbucks, you suck.
But if we do go to Starbucks, if we are going to Starbucks, I'm probably getting a chocolate cream cold brew.
Okay.
I like a good cold brew, especially when it's in the summer-ish season, spring-ish season. It's kind of warm weather. Yeah. Having the windows down, rolling with my chocolate cream cold brew. I like me some chocolate. I like me some coffee.
And you like you some cold brew.
And I like me some cold brew. That's probably my go-to.
Okay, all right, I like it.
But I've changed that around a decent amount, especially actually with my girlfriend. I feel like she's definitely a Starbucks master of sorts. And I'll admit, I'm like, some of the orders that she gives these people, I'm like, what are you even saying?
Oh my gosh, totally. Yeah. Like if you, I've seen some of those Instagram reels, but also just like lived it, right? Like you go, like after whatever you're doing, right? And you just go in the morning with your family to Starbucks. And I'll tell them like my mom, like, I'll get like a double pinkety drinkety or something like that, and she'll be like, what?
Yeah, and that's like, exactly it. People are walking out there like, we'll take a double pinkety drinkety with this and this and a little extra squirt of this and like this and this and some sweetener and light ice. And then we're like, all right, what?
Yeah, right.
I'm like, what does that even mean?
It should be even for like a young guy, right? Yeah. I'm like, what are these names?
Sometimes I feel so funny because back in the day when I like didn't know what my girlfriend's Starbucks order was, I have it on my phone and I'd like pull it up and be like, oh good. I literally like look up at
like on your notes. Did you have a thing that says her order?
Yes, and I look up at the barista and I go, I'm so sorry if I butcher this. And then I'd like try to read it to her, and she's like laughing at me as she like puts it in, and I'm like, I'm sorry if I said it wrong because half the stuff I say wrong, but. Yeah, it's just how it is. Yeah. But the coffee's good, and they most of the time know what they're doing.
Yeah.
All right, I'm trying to think. We almost missed Thanksgiving, but we closed.
That would have been bad.
That would have been really
bad.
Imagine we finished the podcast like Thanksgiving. I'm trying to think of any major holidays. Like I feel like we hit all the really good ones. I mean, there's so many holidays out there. That's another funny thing. I feel like every once in a while, if you like ask you like, oh, what's the national holiday today? There is so many like random holidays that you've never known, like
National Pancake Day,
or like it's National Potato Day, or it's National Kick a Ginger Day. Right? Like I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, there are some random crazy holidays. Yeah. I swear, there's one like every day.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I bet there's one today. Today's probably National, I don't know, Candle Day or something.
National Film a Podcast with Joe Guy Day, something like that. I don't know.
We could make it that.
We'll make it that. Well, officially today is that day now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was an absolute blast, dude. Yeah. I mean, having you back on the podcast, you got serious fans.
I forgot to tell you one thing I also have been doing.
Okay.
I'm playing a lot of golf, too.
Wow.
A lot of golf.
Big golf guy now, huh?
Yeah, it's great. Like, it's such a relaxing sport. Yeah. I'm sure with... Oh, and I picked up another... Okay, all right. Couple more things. You're
good. Keep going.
So,
we got time.
First, I'll say, kind of like tennis, pickleball. I started playing pickleball a couple weeks ago. Actually, my mom's playing as we speak. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Like, I never knew anything about it. It's kind of like tennis, right? But it's just like with the paddles, it's so much fun. And it's so easy to pick up, right? You just can't like hit it in the kitchen, I think, or something like that.
I was we've talked about this I don't remember what episode. We filmed too many now. It's getting to the point where I don't even remember what we talk about in the episodes anymore. But we did talk about pickleball a while ago in the episodes, and I wasn't hating on it at all. I mean, like, I'm a huge fan of anybody who's getting their hands on a racket sport. I'm a huge racket sport fan. I love tennis. I love ping pong. I love all the racket sports. I support any racket sport. And that means I support pickleball because it is a racket sport. You're holding a racket when you play. And I think it's great, especially for like those older generation of people, to be able to pick up a racket sport and be able to play. Because as much as tennis is awesome, the court is huge. It's the skill ceiling.
It takes a lot of speed and agility.
The skill ceiling of tennis is really high. I can't just give you a tennis racket and be like, all right, go play tennis.
Right.
It's too complicated.
And for pickleball, the bar is kind of lowered. Yeah. And it's less 100%. Stakes. Yeah. And it's more fun.
Yeah, and it's like, here, just take a pickleball racket. Let's go play pickleball. We could go play pickleball tonight. But if I gave you a tennis racket and I was like, all right, let's go hit tennis balls,
I'd be like, no.
It's not happening. So like, I do think it's awesome that is at the same time. But I will admit, the one thing that is unfortunate from the tennis player perspective, which you probably don't even think about if you don't play tennis, is that there are so many tennis courts that are getting taken over by pickleball courts. And I love racket sports, but it does suck. It's, for example, Buckner. I really like, we live near a park, and these courts, some of the tennis courts got turned to pickleball courts, which I completely understand. Pickleball's growing. You want to be able to, tend to that crowd that really enjoys pickleball.
Right.
But at the same time, it sucks because then it goes from, we have so many options to play tennis, and then they're just slowly dwindling.
I didn't even think about that.
It's something you don't think about if you don't play tennis, because it's like, pickleball's great. There's new pickleball courts every other day. But then you're thinking, all right, for the other racket sports, what does that mean for them? Like tennis, we're losing tennis courts like every day, which really sucks for us tennis players.
You still have some to play.
Oh yeah, right? There's plenty of tennis. I mean, there's still way more tennis courts than there are pickleball courts.
Yeah.
Tennis is a huge sport in Europe. It's literally like the number 2 most popular sport in Europe behind soccer. So there's plenty of tennis courts.
Football.
There's plenty of tennis around the world, plenty of tennis in the U.S. But I will admit, it is kind of crazy because you start to see these tennis courts being taken over by pickleball courts, and it's like, man, that kind of sucks as a tennis player. But at the same time, I'm happy that
Well, you got to change it, Hayden. Bring this up. Go to the Supreme Court.
Apparently
Tell them I'm done with these pickleball courts. Just don't take the ones I'm playing on.
Okay, that's fair. I don't worry about it.
But other than pickleball, I've been playing a lot of golf, too. Yeah. Golf is fun. I love it. It's so relaxing.
It is.
Except for when you can't hit it at all, and then you're like...
Just snap it.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore style.
But no, I've been golfing a lot, doing a lot of that stuff, so it's good. Just like Arnold Palmer, trying to hit it like Arnold.
Hey, go watch the drink tier list episode. This was 3 a.m. water was the top S tier, but Arnold Palmer was pretty high up there too. That's a great drink. I drink.
Arnold Palmer's phenomenal. 80 calories.
Yeah,
that's low fat.
I drink way too much Arnold Palmer this summer. I'm gonna be honest. It's just such a summer drink. You know what I mean? Like popping a Arnold Palmer open near the 4th of July and just drinking it down, man. It doesn't get better than that.
So great.
Arnold Palmer's pretty good. Well, I'm glad you've been picking up those hobbies. That's good. I'm glad you're picking up a bit of a racket sport. That's fun. We'll have to
following in your footsteps, Hayden.
We'll have to get out sometime, play some racket sports. I know that is one thing. Like I was saying, it is really cool because there's so many friends that are now picking up pickleball, and they're like, man, it's like so much fun. And then they invite me out to play, and I just kick the crap out of them because I play.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. But
I bet you do. Seriously,
no. But I will admit, it is really fun because it's like I grew up my entire life playing a racket sport, so I'm very comfortable playing racket sports. And then somebody gives me a pickleball racket, and I'm playing against someone who's been playing pickleball for months. And I'm like competing with them. I'm beating them. And they're like, how are you so good? And it's like, well, it's just like tennis. It's just different. Like I'm still very comfortable with that sort of motion.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's cool. It's really fun to have more people be interested in something semi-related to something you're interested in.
Yeah.
It's just mutual hobbies is really what it is.
Yeah.
And that's cool to see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do we got any big send-off to do? You got anything else you want to say? I mean, I'm going to leave all your links below. Go check out the Nick Gross Show. The amount of comments that we get that are like, Nick, where's Gel Guy? We want him back right this instant. We got him back. All right. And
hello.
I hope we'll probably be back soon, eventually. I mean, we got busy lives. We got college coming up. You might see him again. You might not. You never know. We're going to keep them on their toes, Nick. We're going to keep them on their toes.
We're going to keep them on their toes. It's the best way.
Hey, Gel Guy might be back. Maybe he's not back. Maybe he's focusing on his own podcast. Whatever that is.
And you know what? Here's the thing, guys. Your Gel Guy comments have been propelling me. I have never put more gel. I've been putting. You got to feel this, Hayden. You got to feel this. I've been putting so much gel in my hair. I was going to bring the gel bottle. I forgot.
Yeah.
But I use Crew. You got to get Crew. Crew's amazing. I love it. Use it so much.
Gel Guy's really been loving it. Crew.
Gel Guy's kind of like a way of life now. In life, you got to be jelly. You got to be greasy, right? It's the way you got to be.
Okay. Apparently that's how it is. Official from Gel Guy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thanks,
We're glad to have you back. I'm glad to make the fans happy. That a lot of them have been wanting you back. Go check out his podcast because you post a podcast every week.
No, I haven't posted
every month.
I haven't posted in like 2 weeks.
All right, well we're gonna say he at least posts once a month. So go check out his podcast.
More than that, I will.
Yeah, he will.
I will.
It's just we're busy. It happens.
We're
high scores. We're busy. So Gel Guy might be back. Gel Guy might not be back. We're gonna keep you on your toes, but we're really happy to have you back this time. Man.
Thanks, Hayden. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun.
Well, let's clap it out. Episode 28. Congratulations.
Woo!
Gel Guy's back.
Ah!